Pluto hard aspect to Jupiter happens once every 62 years, whether it's a conjunction, which is 0 degrees, opposition 180 degrees, Pluto when it's passing over opposite Jupiter, or the square, which is 90 degrees. And any of these will happen once in 62 or 63 or 4, sometimes even longer periods of time. So some people experience it just once in their life, and it's a very important transit which lasts, the whole process lasts for about 2 years. So every time, so if you have it right now in your life, it will be a very interesting experience that has a transformational influence on your Jupiter, because Pluto, whatever it aspects, whatever it transits, Pluto wants you to let go of the old ideas about it and to move forward with greater consciousness. And Jupiter is actually your belief system, what you believe in, the meaning of life that you have. So for some people, the meaning of their life is their children. For others, is money. For more spiritual people, the meaning of life is to develop themselves, to grow forward. Others, their meaning of life is to help others to succeed. Everyone has a different belief system of what life is about and what they usually expect, the expectations. The belief system is what you expect from life, and usually what you expect from life is what you get. If you believe that life is hard and you have to work really hard, you do this, and if you believe you never get a break in life unless you really try hard and really self-discipline yourself, you usually live your life by those principles, and you will observe those, and you would only observe this in your environment, and basically your life will bring you exactly this, that you have to work very hard and you cannot take a break, and but at certain periods in one's life, when Pluto aspects Jupiter, your belief system totally changes. And you let go of the old. And for instance, if you were very bohemian like I was, and I had this aspect for the past 2 years, this transit for the past 2 years. Before that, I believed that life is to be enjoyed only, to have fun, to take in as many pleasures as possible. Life is a journey of pleasure, and you have to learn how to be joyful in it. I had a very hippie, new age mentality. And when Pluto transit my Jupiter, actually tremendously changed deeply. And I started realizing, for me personally, changed that life is about learning, life is about gaining experience and working on improving and removing your weaknesses of character, and strengthening your character and helping others and improving yourself. And that actually started thinking that life really holds that God, or whatever you think of it, the universe, that really there is karma. If you keep doing the same thing over and over, and the same kind of mistakes, it will come back to you, and you have to experience it. You have to pay back for what you've done. So it became all of a sudden much more disciplinarian, a much more strict kind of belief system. But for another person, it can be completely the opposite. If they were very strict on themselves and they believe life is harsh and unhappy, and that you cannot get joy easily, and that life is here only to work about, if this is the meaning of their life. When Jupiter comes, and when Pluto-Jupiter comes, they experience just the opposite. They probably would start thinking that life is more about joy, more about having fun. Or some people, the meaning of their life might be about children. They might be putting all their source of happiness and meaning can be their children, and Pluto comes there, aspects their Jupiter for a year and two, and the person starts thinking, no, actually I want to have a career, and the meaning of my life is actually to work on myself, so your priorities change. That's what it is. The priorities, the meaning of your life, what you place importance on changes a lot. So and when you change your belief system, you change your luck. And usually you will increase your luck after that. Jupiter is the planet of luck. But first it will break you down. It will break you down. You might feel, especially at the first year of the transit, you might feel pretty much meaningless, because the old belief system you had stopped working or giving you meaning in life or giving you happiness from life. Jupiter rules happiness. You are happy when your belief system are working, when you're thinking that everything is all right, that you're in the right place, that there is meaning. When you have meaning in your life, you're happy. The moment meaning starts breaking down in your life, and this is what happens when Pluto comes, you stop being happy. But Pluto wants to just transform this, to let go of the old belief system. And when you include a new belief system, and totally transformed ones, then you will reemerge out of this process couple of years down the line with a greater capacity of happiness. This is the greatest gift that this transit will give you. Pluto transiting Jupiter, at the end of the transit, you will have greater capacity to enjoy life for happiness and new meaning of your life and deeper meaning. It really, Pluto is an extremely intense planet and extremely one that goes under the surface. So no superficial meaning of life will be enough for you. You'll go very deep. You'll probably, a lot of you will get very much interested in the occult or in life after death, in philosophical and belief system, which explain about the meaning of life, the purpose of life, the life after death, as we said, and something which gives you more meaning, more depth and understanding of your life and of yourself. Jupiter is also self-knowledge. Any kind of higher knowledge, self-knowledge, it's what Jupiter is, and Pluto transforms this, and you come out of this being able to be happier, being able to enjoy more meaning and deepness in your life, having more spirituality, stronger connection with Source. But initially it might really kill this connection to Source. Even if you are someone very spiritual, religious, who was praying at the beginning for years a lot, when Pluto comes, all of a sudden you might feel like empty. No, it's not working. There is no higher power, the higher power I have is not working, the connection. But then in this 2-3 years, you will rediscover and recreate even deeper roots and connection to higher power. I've seen people change religions during this period. I've seen people, my father, when he had this transit from a fully agnostic, non-believer, secular person, became extremely spiritual. Everyone goes through their own process, but your belief system are totally transformed, and your capacity for happiness expands later on after the transit. And as we said, educate and knowledge. Your thirst for knowledge deepens. Jupiter is knowledge. Your thirst for expanding your vision really deepens, so you start reading more, trying to expand your mind and gaining more and more, but deeper knowledge, not superficial, but something which will explain you the roots of life and the meaning of life. And basically, this is the most important thing. Jupiter also rules wealth and finances, your money, income. And Pluto will restructure your attitude towards your finances, towards wealth, And for instance, when I had this transit from a really highly paid job, I had to... my finances were much limited because I decided to go into the passion of my life, which was astrology, because the previous job was no longer bringing meaning in my life. This is what Pluto did at the beginning. And then I left the old and I went into a new direction and something which is more meaningful for me. But in this process, the finances were, I had to somehow reorganize and transform my attitude towards finances, because it was not gonna get easy. But after that, actually, finances increased. So this is also a transit which can make some people extremely rich. It can go both extreme. Either break you down financially, so after that you can reemerge again with better ability and better attitude to finances and wealth, in particularly to wealth, so first it can take all the wealth from you and then give you a new source of wealth, which brings you more happiness. And I've seen people become millionaires with this. But always it's very interesting that usually sometimes before that, they first have a total bankruptcy. And it can go both extreme. You can either bankrupt a lot or you can go very rich, but usually there is a big change in your wealth. And I'm not saying it's going to stay like that, but after that, when you emerge out of this transit, you come with a better ability to create wealth from something more meaningful and more lasting wealth. Anyway, I hope I was able to help you. Please share with others what your experience was when Pluto transited your Jupiter. Write a comment, help others, and, be a part of this process. Thank you.